two, one.
Hi, everybody. Anthony Rodriguez here, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Welcome to another Tuesday edition. Glad to have everybody back. Aho, shino wana honatata, shino wana to, aho. But before we get started, as usual, we're going to sage the room and we're going to clear all the little gremlins that could be in the wiring, in the computers, in the phone systems, in the microphones, and all those things. Aho, shino wana to. We're going to clear them. And burning a little sage, aho, shino wana ha, and asking Creator Great Spirit to clear all the channels, even me, making me a clear channel, removing any blocks and any unwanted energies in me, in all the mechanics and the computers and the electronics of this show, that I would be a clear channel and carry a clear message to those that would like to hear a clear message and need to hear a clear message and are searching for a new beginning. Aho, ashino wana, honachinata, aho, aho, aho. Thank you, Creator Great Spirit. And hi again, everybody. Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. And are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oishi no, oishi no, oishi no. Today's show, Transforming Through Fire. Can you, will you, do you? Do you know what that means, to transform through fire? You know, it means, are you ready to walk through the things in your life that are so uncomfortable, that have broken you at times? Are you ready to walk through and embrace those things in a good way? You can give us a call at area code 323-870-3791 and let us know. That's our new call-in number. We are on a new channel. We are on channel 1. I like that, at Goldilocks Productions. Aho, shino wana. 323-870-3791. Push 1 to let my producer know that you'd like to speak to me. Aho. So where were we? All right. So are you ready to take hold of those things that have been blocks in your life, that have been doorstops in your life, that have been valleys or moats in your life that you haven't been able to cross or go through? And when I say, and I talk about letting go, and I talk about letting go a lot, I'm not talking about letting go like you would throw a rock or throw a stick. No, I'm talking about letting go of your attachment to those things. Taking those things that have wounded you, that have hurt you, that have shamed you, that have bothered you for a lifetime, and embracing them and taking away the power from them and becoming empowered through the embracing of the issues in the tissues. Aho, aho. All right. Got a little business to do, so we're going to get back to that, but just wanted to prepare you for what we're going to be doing. So I want to remind you that next Tuesday and every Tuesday at 1 p.m., the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine comes to you live at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Aho. And you can also catch it on Goldilocks Productions YouTube channel, and you can catch it on Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine YouTube channel as well. All right, so this Thursday at 8 o'clock, and every Thursday this month, I think there's 1 or 2 more Thursdays, I am doing Sound Vibration Magic Drum Journey with Walking Crow. You can journey, you can join me at 8 o'clock, and I will be drumming and taking you on journey for free, and you can go into the dream state once that's over, and you listen to it again and change how your dreams come, or pay attention how your dreams come. But you can journey to the sound of the drum. Listen for the sound of the drum. Listen for the silence. And when those two blur and become one, that's when we go. Aho. Where will you go? Who will you talk to? What will you bring back? What gifts will you bring back from the fire? Aho. Remember that when you think things are happening and you think it's your imagination, it isn't your imagination. It is the spirit world. It is the dream world. It is the reality of where we live and who and what we are. Aho. Aho. Thursday night, 8 p.m., live on Facebook. Journey with me. Aho. And also, February 24th, with Jennifer Escalera and myself, Jennifer Escalera is an energy therapist and an amazing medicine woman. We are going to be doing how to understand your divine self-love. And this is a workshop for men and women. And if you want to come, it's $40. Couples are $60. So bring a friend and come as a couple. And find out what it is to be in your divine self-love and to be in a relationship and take that divine self-love into a relationship and how those things work. Aho. It's going to be a great 2 hours of learning and teaching. We're going to journey as well. We're going to teach you some great meditations of how to breathe and how to be with your own energies in your own chakra system. Aho. That's February 22nd at Lyd & Mo's Photography at 27 North Mentor Avenue in Pasadena, California, 91106. You can find this event on Eventbrite.com, and you can pay for it there, and we'll go from there. Aho. Okay, I have one more announcement, and then we move on into the show. The last announcement I have is a Walking Crow and Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Drum Making Workshop. Aho. So you can join me, and you can make a drum in ceremony. Aho. You can make your own drum with your precious hands, the right hand of divine masculine, that right hand of moving forward. Aho. The left hand of divine feminine, the left hand of receiving. Receive and give and make yourself a beautiful, beautiful drum for $160. You can't buy a drum for $160 unless it's a toy or something else. So come and join us on March 24th. When you pay for it, you will be given the address. So that's $160 for making your own 10 or 12-inch drum, and we'll be using elk skin. Aho, because it's the easiest skin to use. Aho. That's it for our announcements, and we're moving on into the show. And reminder that it's Taco Tuesday. And I also want to remind you that you can find me at www.sacreddrummedicine.com, and you can contact me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. All right. Fire. Walking through the fire of the things that happen in your life. Will you, do you? Will you? I'm going to ask. I asked some questions on my public service announcement earlier. I did a PSA for the show this morning, and I asked people: are you tired of being in a marriage that you're not happy in? Are you tired of living in the suburbs in a place that's so boring because, it's what you've been taught. It's what you were told you should do. Are you stuck in a job where it's the same thing day in and day out, and you get absolutely no satisfaction from the traffic, from the travel time, from the boss that nags at you, from being underpaid and being underserved yourself from those things? I hope. Have you become a slave to those things? Have you become a slave to your church? Have you become a slave to your community? And you find no joy in it? Have you become a slave to the soccer league, the kids' soccer league, to this, that, and the other thing, and find no happiness in life? Are you tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of not being able to stand up, and be you? I didn't mean to do that to you on screen, but be you. Are you able to be you, or are you that person, man, woman, or child, who your parents have molded you, and they demanded that you be a certain thing or become a certain thing or a certain way? Aho. I know people like that. I have family members like that. I know all kinds of people that went to school to become something that they didn't want to be. You're going to do it because we say so. You live as long as you live under my roof. and I've got relations that said, "Oh, really? Bye." That's the way that goes. And we can't make demands on other people. I know demands were made on me over the last few years, and I was very unhappy in a place with a partner who just didn't understand what I had to do. And I understand as a man who married somebody and was in a relationship with somebody, I had responsibilities. But I have to tell you, the biggest responsibility I have is to me. The biggest responsibility you have is to you. And when do we step into that responsibility? When do we become willing to walk on hot coals, to walk on glass, to jump from the cliff, to swing from the tree, to dive into the water, to dive from the waterfall? When do we decide to take the plunge and leap without a net and learn that when you leap without a net, the net absolutely appears? Oh, oh. Now, this isn't just stuff that I pull out of the air and I pull out of the sky because, I've got something to say. No, I talk about these things and I speak of these things because it's my experience. It's my experience. Would you like to nest in the branches of experience? Would you like to rest in the branches of experience and eat of the fruit of that experience? And how that person, me, got from point A to point B, a whole. It wasn't easy, and it's never easy. I know sometimes that because I'm on social media a lot, because I'm on my YouTube channel, because I'm on this Blog Talk radio show, and I'm on this Believe live streaming show, that it looks easy to some of you that I may look like I have it together. Hello. Looking like I have it together is the getting together of moving forward. I hope. Does that make any sense to you? I make it look easy, and it seems to be easy because I do it over and over and over again. I am consistent about the things that I believe. I am consistent about the things that I talk about. I am consistent about the things that I do. I am consistent of the practices that I practice. I am consistent about my belief in my beliefs. I am what I am. I am what I say I am. A whole. I am here. I am rooted. I am fruited. I am here. When I say I am rooted, I say I am here, and I step into my root chakra, a whole. I am here and I am present. And I'm going to tell you something. I know when I'm present because people notice. I notice that people see me. And not because I'm looking for it. It just, I notice because I notice a lot of things. And I'm not only here, but I'm connected. As soon as that happens, as soon as I notice the noticing, that means that I am connected. And not just because I'm connected to you or to them, I'm connected to myself through my fire, through my fuego, to myself, to my heart space, a whole. How do you do that? Practice, practice, practice. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Capacity, capacity, capacity. Do you have the capacity to say to yourself, self, I'm tired of this? Do you? Can you? Will you? Do you? Do you? Can you say to yourself, I'm tired of being like the way I am. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being too short, too tall, too fat, too dark, too big lip, too whatever it is, And I'm saying those things because there are people who don't like the way they look. There are people, I apologize, I just dropped my phone. There are people who don't like the way they look. And I was one of those. I did not like the way I looked. Oops, sorry, I dropped something and I had to pick it up. I'm dropping all kinds of stuff today. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I sounded. I didn't like the way anybody looked at me, because I was this runt of a little kid who was husky. The only pants I could wear were gray, brown, or navy blue because that's all they had for short little fat kids like me, And I got to tell you, I got on the scale this morning at my office. I had a client out in the Hands to Health Wellness Center, and I got on the scale this morning in passing, and I was like, oh, okay. Last week I got on the scale, I was like 160, and I got on the scale today, I was like 155, and it's like, wow, I'm getting a little thin here, but who cares? I eat, and I eat anything I want. And I'm able to eat anything I want because I let go of stuffing my feelings. I let go and I burn those calories because I'm not holding energy. I'm not holding feelings. I'm not holding the thinking, the stinking thinking, and the spinning and story about the feelings because I feel the feelings. Can you? Do you? Will you? Should you? Could you? Would you? A whole. I will ask those questions. And by the way, I made a statement this morning. and I'm going to use this drum mallet, about poking the bear. Not smoking the bear. not Smokey the bear. Not smoking the bear. but poking the bear. I am going to start poking the bear, and I'm going to start poking at you guys. I'm going to ask the hard questions. Well, I'm always asking the hard questions, but I'm going to ask the uncomfortable questions. I'm going to be the stone in your shoe, the stone in your boot. Can you, will you, do you? And I mean that when I ask you. I mean that when I ask you. So I'm going to be poking you with the stick. And if the bear roars, the bear roars. It's a time of roaring right now. This is the time of winter. The bear is resting. And if you go into that den, if I go into that den and poke at that bear with this stick, that bear is eventually going to wake up. And what I want for you is for that bear to wake up and chase me right out of that den, right out of that cave, and right into spring, right into the direction of the east, direction of grandfather son, direction of manifestation, direction of the male energies, direction of the born and the unborn, springtime, new beginnings, a whole. So I'm going to poke at you. So just know that I'm going to be doing that. And you should be ready for getting some poke. I won't poke you in the eye, though, because I need you to see where you're going. I need you to see where you're going. But if you're like me and you start to move forward and you start to learn how to change yourself and manifest, I can guarantee you, you won't need these. You won't need these right here to move forward, to see. You'll be able to see from here, from your heart space. You'll be able to see from the fire that burns so bright, that's so hot. You'll be able to see from the second chakra and your root, and from here, your third eye. You will know that you absolutely know that, just like I know. Just like I know that Creator is from my seventh chakra. I move into universe. I move into God. I move into heaven. And I absolutely know. Are you ready to know? You know? So, I'm also going to invite you to call in and get a card reading. I read the medicine cards, animal cards, medicine cards. I don't read other things. I don't know anything about witches and warlocks and dragons. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I understand some of it, but I read the medicine cards because that's my medicine. And it may change from time to time to another deck. But I'm going to let you know that if you want a reading, you can call and get a reading. You can get a healing. I can read your chakra system, or we can just have a conversation on where it is that you're at right now and how can I help you a whole. So I pulled 4 cards for myself today. I actually pulled 5 cards for myself today, and I was told to pull the last one, so that's what I did. So today's first card was Dragonfly, Illusion. I know who I really am. I do. I know who I really am. And I don't need anybody to tell me who I am or what I am. I have stepped into Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow quite some time ago. And I'm going to tell you, there was I have an aunt. She has a sister, and her name is Hermie. And I've known Hermie all my life. And one day I saw Hermie at a beach event, a family event. And Hermie said to me, you know, I remember you as a little kid, and I always felt bad for you because they would never let you play like a little boy, run and play like a little boy. They always made you sit there. And you know, I thought that was my imagination. I thought that was my anger. I thought that was my resentment. But I remember that too. And somebody saw that. And 50 some years later, or 40 some years later, she called it out to me. And I said, thank you very much for saying that. You see, because no one else in this family is going to admit that, because then you'd have to take responsibility for that, you know. But they wanted to place the responsibility of how I grew up on me. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility was being Anthony J. Rodriguez Walking Crow, that little chubby fat child that didn't have to be a chubby fat child. But that was my path. That path is what brought me to this point where I talk to you. Oh. So, and the second card is Dolphin, playfulness. It's time to play. I have fun doing what I'm doing. I got to tell you, there's a couple of things in my life that I can't wait to do. More than a couple. One of them is ceremony. When I do Sweat Lodge once a month, I can't wait. I hear guys say, well, man, I didn't want to come. I was not going to come. I didn't want to come. Oh, man, I'm not ready for this. I'm like, let's do this. Let's make it hotter. Let's make it steamier. I'm ready to get in there and get with the ancestors and all my relations in that inipi, in that lodge, and ready to let go. And that's why I've been able to come so far so fast, because I enjoy the letting go of the moving forward. Oh, the embracing, the embracing. I enjoy that. So I get to play and I get to do this show. I love doing this show. This show is it's been over a year since I've been doing this show, and I absolutely love it. I do not do anything else on Tuesday other than this show, unless sometimes I have a client in the morning or maybe at night. But normally I do the show and I prepare all day for this show. And after this show, I listen to the show and I decompress, and then I take a nap. And then I probably listen to the show again, because there are things that I also learn from myself, because I'm not the one always speaking. Spirit channels through me, and the power of the four directions channels through me. Great Mother channels through me. Great Spirit channels through me. So I have to pay attention to me too. Aho. So, and I play and I have fun. You guys hear me talk about Taco Tuesday. Go get you some, and I love doing my events. I love making videos and teaching people and talking about the things that go on in my life, the things that go on in your life and the world. Speaking about the world, prayers to those who may be in danger of tsunamis. There was a 7.9 in the Pacific Ocean out near Alaska. So keep people in prayer today. Hold space for them. Aho. Be there for them. Send them loving energies. Aho. And the next card is Fox. Adaptability. Adapt to the changes that are happening. Fox. Adaptability. Do you know that my life is ebbing and flowing, constantly changing every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, every decade after decade after decade, without my permission, but with my acceptance, with my allowance. I allow the things to happen. I try not to fight those things. And if things take me longer to manifest, it's because I am fighting it. I'm feeling somebody's energy in my solar plexus right now. It's interesting. I just burped, and I know it isn't me. And maybe it's my mom in the next room, or maybe it's Tiffany White Sage Woman, because she's on the board, control board. So I get to adapt to the changes, and I get to decide whether I want to or not. I have a yes or no in everything. I have a part in everything. I have a responsibility in everything, and I have the duty to myself to say yes or no. And by the way, you're going to hear this here first, because people don't say this. I know a lot of healers who say a lot of things, who do a lot of things, and they don't talk the way I do. Duty is no reason to do anything. I don't care if it's about the duty to your church, the duty to your family, the duty to your job, the duty to your friends. You are the most important person in all of that, in all those circles. And it's your duty to yourself. That's when duty is important, to stand in and up for yourself. Are you oishino, oishino, oishino? Are you ready to stand up for yourself? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am ready. I have been ready. I will always be ready. Ahoishino wana, honashino ta. Aho. Now you hear me talk like that, and I don't know what I say means. I get an idea, but I'm not sure, because this is channeled through me from Spirit as well. This has been happening for over 6 months now. And I only ciphered Oishi no, are you ready? I am ready. That means two things. Oishi no, oishi no, oishi no. And I always ask them three times, because I believe in the Trinity. I believe in it's confirmation if I ask 3 times. I hope. So change is adaptability. Are you ready? Are you able to adapt on a moment's notice? Change direction. Boom. Like hummingbird. Hummingbird can change direction anytime. Adaptability. Aho. Last card. Not the last card. The fourth card. Frog. Purification. Aho. Clearing the clutter. This is a time of clearing, letting go. I talked about it last week when I brought out Mr. Acorn, and I said, Mr. Acorn has to die in and of itself, has to dry in and of itself, so he becomes the mighty oak, like the Christ consciousness had to die to become the mighty oak. We have to let go. We have to discard those things that we carry around. And like I said, you're not really going to discard them. You're going to embrace them to learn how to be with them and be empowered. A mighty oak is hardwood. It's not softwood. It's not like the pine. It is hardwood. Do you want to become a tree that's well rooted and grounded and well rooted and fruited, full of acorns in the summertime? And your abundance feeds others because you are that kind of fruit. Aho. Can you, will you, do you? Clutter. Clear it out, folks. Clear it out. Let those things go. You know, it's only you can take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Do you want love? Give love. Give love to who? Give love to what? Give love to self. Give love to you. Aho. Aho. I want to remind you, if this is your first time on the show, that you're listening to Anthony J. Rodriguez, Walking Crow. I'm a transpersonal energy healer. Aho. I'm a transformational energy healer. Aho. I'm a shamanic drummer. Aho. I'm a radio host. I'm a hands-on healer. I'm a mentor, body, mind, spirit, transformational life mentor. If you feel that you need mentoring and you want to change the things in your life and you don't know how, reach out to me at area code 818-442-1717. You can reach out to me also at my email address at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. You can go to my website at www.sacreddrummedicine.com. And you can learn about what it is that I do and how I can help you. Aho. Aho. So, the last card, and I think this is interesting. Immerse yourself in artistic and creative expression. Seal. Imagination. Imagination. I know I am creating where I'm going. I know, and oishi no, I am ready, that I will be traveling and doing events in different parts of the country. I am already reaching out to others in Sedona. I am already reaching out to others in Austin, in Nevada City, in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm reaching out to people in Mount Shasta, Aho, Ashland, Oregon, Aho, Aho. And I want to come to where you are. This is my imagination. These are already things that I see. I already know what's happening. So I'm using my imagination because I am rooted and I am in my foundation and I know how I'm getting there and I know where I'm going. Aho, aho. And another thing that I'm going to create and my imagination is creating is I'm going to create a TED Talk. I decided a couple of days ago that this world needs a TED Talk by Anthony J. Rodriguez, Walking Crow, aho, about being rooted and fruited, aho, about poking the bear with a stick, about stepping into the fire and the fuego and who and what you are and who and what you have always been, aho. And speaking of who and what you have always been, my friend Sarah is on the line from Indiana. Hi, Sarah. Anthony here, Walking Crow. How are you today?
Actually, it's not Sarah. It's her husband, Anthony.
Hey, what do you say, Anthony? I saw you online with Tiffany the other Sunday, as a matter of fact. You were the other Anthony asking you questions. How's it going?
Good, and you?
You know, I'm having a good time today. I'm having a really good time. Waiting for my next step. Waiting to take my next step forward. You know. Yep. How can I help you today? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. Wondering if you can give me a reading.
All right. What kind of reading you're looking for today? I do the medicine cards. I can do chakra reading.
Go with the chakra reading.
All right. All right. So let me ask you a question. Do you have anything going on with you physically right now?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have anything going on with you physically right now?
No.
Not nothing at all. You don't have any pains, hurts, wounds.
My knee hurts a little bit.
Which knee is it? Your right or your left?
Right.
Right knee, moving forward. Right side. This is my left hand. This is the hand of the divine feminine. This is the hand of receiving. This is my right hand. This is the hand of divine masculine. This is the hand of giving. These hands live in duality when we bring them to center, and they're always in duality, even though they do different things. One receives, one gives. When we are moving forward or we are stuck, we start to have things happen in our physical. I call it the issue in the tissue. And in this case, you said that you're having some pain in your right knee, and that is symbolic of me of moving forward, of stepping forward and really coming into your true self and where you want to go, and actually stepping out of the place that you've been stuck for a while. Is there something going on in your emotional life right now?
Not that I'm aware of.
How long has your knee been hurting you?
It hurts on and off when the weather acts up. Like we're going to get a storm or something. But
What?
other than that, it's normally pretty good.
When the weather acts up. Is there? You sure there's nothing else acting up behind the scenes in your life? We don't tell on you. I don't tell on you here. So nothing at all.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. So, what kind of work do you do?
I make windshields for Ford.
Oh, all right. UAW worker. My brother, my father, and my brother were UAW guys for General Motors for a lifetime. It feels like, you know. So well, that's good stuff. So, how do you like your job?
I love my job.
Really? Cool. That's good to hear. So, so let's get back to your right knee. So like I said, it is symbolic. The right knee is symbolic of moving forward, and you're telling me there's absolutely nothing, which I find impossible, nothing happening in your life that you may be stuck from or moving forward from. There hasn't been anybody in trying to create interference in your life or on your job or in relationships, nothing like that?
Yeah, there was. Move forward from them though.
Ah, okay. How long ago was that?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's pretty recent. So, and the weather moved in a couple of weeks ago too, right?
Yeah.
Now, so it moved in with the right knee pain. Okay, so so I'm feeling you right now. I'm feeling you in your third chakra. Third chakra is right here. This is the third chakra. I'm standing up so you can take a look at it. It is where our fire, our fuego lives, our self-esteem. That situation, did it like bring you down and not want to? A little bit, or a lot of bit?
It brought me down a little bit.
It brought you down a little bit, and
It
so
was something that's been coming for about a year, so
so it has history in coming. Okay,
yeah.
all right. So now that you let it go, how do you feel with regard to esteem and who you are as a man, and who you are, and and you're married to Sarah, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so there's some connections here that I'm starting to that I'm remembering from last week, and there were some things that you couldn't talk about. There was a block in your fifth chakra, and it gets difficult to talk about things because there's some There's some energies that are close to you are the reasons that all this was happening, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. When we can't speak, we start to hold energy here. And if I could see, if I saw you, I could actually see, we'll probably see the blocked energies, and I would probably see some other things in your body. And I know, because I read Sarah last week, you and Sarah have a beautiful, great relationship. You guys love each other. You have a child to prove it. I guess she was. We were talking about your son, and and um, and when people get in the way of that, and sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, and sometimes it's people who don't know how to mind their own business. It affects us in an adverse way. It'll affect us emotionally, and we spend time thinking about it instead of feeling about it, and we spin on the story. And what happens is we start to come out of our body, and we get blocked here because we're not talking about it. And you can't carry those things around. You have to let those things go, because when you hold on to those things and you don't let them go and you spin on it, what happens is we start to manifest dis-ease or wounds in our body. We'll fall over something. We'll start to we'll hurt a knee. We will slam a finger in a door or a hand in a door. Any number of things can happen and come up. We start to smoke to find relief because we don't feel like we're loved in our heart space. Do you know what I mean? With the connection for the fifth chakra, vibration, out, release, taking smoke in, and that goes right to the heart for people who don't love themselves, or don't know how to say, can you help me? Will you be quiet? Will you stop? Will you leave us alone? Right? So it's a matter of just coming into your voice and allowing yourself the freedom to say what you have to say. Because guess what? Nobody is walking in your path. I said walking in your path. Right leg, right knee, walking in your path. Those things that get in the way, once you say something about them, and I said this earlier on an earlier video today, those things are going to become the stepping stones of you moving forward in your life in a good way, becoming unstuck, pain-free. Freedom from the thinking of the emotions, but actually feeling the emotions. If you get angry, get angry. If you're going to cry, cry. If you're going to be hurt, but say it. Because otherwise, if you don't, those theys out there who don't know how to mind their own business think they hold power over you. And the only person, Anthony, who holds power over you is Anthony. And not this Anthony. You, Anthony. I hope.
I agree.
I hope. Let me ask you a question. Do you mind if I pull a card for you?
That's fine. Go ahead.
Pull a medicine card for you and see what the spirit animals are saying. Do me a favor. Say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Raven, magic, own your power. I can't make this up. Raven is magic. You have the power to create the illusions and the disillusions in your life. The disillusions is when we get sucked into other people's negative energies. But you also have the empowerment of saying, nah, mind your own business. I don't want to hurt your feelings so-and-so, but mind your own business. This is my life. I mentioned it last week. It's very symbolic of a singer, a rock singer from Indiana as well, who used to sing those kinds of songs. I'm going to pull one more card for you, okay?
Okay.
Badger, perseverance, dig in and see it through to the completion. Badger, do you know anything about badgers? They don't back down from a fight. They don't back down from anything or anybody. If you pick a fight with a badger, you better pack a lunch, buddy. You better go to the Colonel and get a bucket of chicken for 20 with all the sides, because you're going to be gone all day fighting that battle. Somebody picks a fight with a badger, they're going to have a hard time, and they're going to be asking themselves, why did I do this? You don't have to defend yourself from anybody, because you're a dad, because you're a badger, you will. You will. And I think you will. And I think you probably have had a, because you care about people, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You probably have stepped back in your own power. But I will ask you and suggest that you step forward into your power. Aho. I just turned the last top card over. Lion, courage. Ask for what you want. Your voice is the most important tool you have. This voice is the most important tool we have because it lets people know that we know. It lets people know, back off. It lets people know, hey, good to see you. Hey, it lets people know that I'm not happy with you. It lets people know I love you if that's in fact what you want to say. I hope. I'm going to pull one more card for you, brother. Kangaroo, gratitude. Being grateful. I heard you say that you love your job. That's gratitude because I know a lot of people who don't love their job. And I venture to guess when people aren't meddling in your life, Anthony, that you love your life too and you love your family and you care about people. And sometimes it sticks in your throat when you're just like,
Yeah.
But you have things to fall back on. You have your beautiful wife, your beautiful child, that great job, and jobs like that don't go away. You're going to retire there, and you're just going to be a happy guy, And I'm glad that you called because we don't get a lot of males who call into the show, and I'm really glad that you call in. You stepped out of yourself, you stepped out of your fear into your power. You stepped it forward on the stepping stones of the things that have been happening in your life, and allow yourself to move forward into a new life, into a different life, into a new way. Take a little time in the morning, Anthony, when you wake up first thing. Don't get out of bed. Sit on the edge of the bed, put your feet on the floor, and put your hands on your knees and take a breath. And pay attention to where that breath lands in your body. And exhale. And just connect to Mother Earth. Just connect to yourself. Connect to your soul. Give yourself the breath that you solely need and sorely need. Because when we're holding energy and we're not speaking, we only breathe to about here or here. When we're able to say the things that we want to say and have to say, we breathe deep down into the diaphragm where the fire, the fuego is Spanish for fire, fuego, the I can, I will, I do, where that lives, where you live, your I am lives. I hope. All right. Anything else I can answer for you?
No, that was it. Thank you.
All right, Anthony. Thank you for calling in and say hello to Sarah and that little boy. And hope to hear from you again. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. All right. All right. So, when we start to look at ourselves, and that was a case of it, there's things that we really don't pay attention to, and they're more important than we think. They're more important than we give them credence for. They're more important to us than the big things that happen to us. A beachhead doesn't become a beachhead overnight with a pile of sand. No. That beachhead becomes a beachhead one grain of sand at a time, one wave at a time, one swell at a time, one current at a time. Aho. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a buildup. It's a buildup. It's a buildup of movement, water, and time. And I said beachhead, water, emotion, direction of the west, direction of the woman, direction of emotion, direction of darkness. If we hold on to all that sand, we become extremely blocked. When I do my work, my hands-on work with people, and I'm working on the fifth chakra underneath, I have my hand underneath your neck, underneath the lower part of your head, and I take my left hand and put it over your mouth area, your neck, and I start to clear, and I start to ask Creator in all our relations, to allow that block to fall into my right hand. My right hand, as grains of sand, as the clumps of the block start to break up, and they fall into my hand. And what I pull out what I pull out of your fifth chakra, your vibration, your block, I take and I give that to the universe. I give that to the heavens. So those energies, those blocked energies get recycled into new energies, into golden liquid light energy, a whole that fills your body, that fills your soul, that makes you perfect and whole, just like you are, just like you have always been. And I will help you by holding space for you with my right hand and giving that, giving that, giving that to the universe. Oh, oh, oh. And you can take those things and use them as stepping stones into the rest of your life. Those blocks become stepping stones. Those hurts become stepping stones. The shames, the wounds, the traumas, the anger, the fear becomes a stepping stone to a new life and a new way of being, a new way of living, a new way of feeling. Aho, aho, aho. 323-870-3791 is a call-in number. Feel free to call in. Ask a question, get a reading. Sometimes readings come really quick to me. Sometimes they take a little while because I have to ask questions. You can get a reading from the medicine cards, and the medicine cards are pretty right on today. I think the medicine cards are always right on, and I know that it wasn't wasn't the thing that Anthony was asking for, but I think it was a part of that. It was a component of that. And we have to pay attention to all components of the medicine. Aho, mitakiasi. Aho. And because Anthony called in, one of the things that I want to do is I want to send some good energies and help him with the clearing of those energies that were moving in his life that ended a couple of weeks ago. And just because those things are not happening doesn't mean that energy isn't, hanging around, like Charlie Brown with a dark cloud, trying to kick that football. Lucy keeps messing with him. Lucy is that dark cloud for Charlie Brown. She's the nemesis, And sometimes people don't know how to mind their own business, and they should. Aho, oishino. They should. They should. Anyways, so poking the bear with the stick. There's people who like to poke the wrong bear with the wrong size stick. And you better make sure if you poke the wrong bear, you better have a really long stick. Because you know what? That bear's going to take a swipe at you with those claws. And he can reach you. Bear's got a pretty good reach, and bears are pretty fast. And you're not going to outrun that bear. Aho. Aho. So I'm going to ask you again. Are you ready? Are you ready to go into the springtime? We are in the time of preparation. We are in the time of preparing our seed, sharing our seed for the sowing in the springtime. What kind of seed are you going to sow? It's unknown seed. Though, the baggage, the bondage, the hurts, the wounds, the shames, and the traumas that you've been carrying for a lifetime, or 10 years, or 10 weeks, or 10 days, or 10 minutes. Do you have a resentment because you went for lunch and they got your order wrong, and you didn't want to stand in the line again, so you ate it? You don't have to eat it. Go to the front of the line, bypass everybody, and say, "Excuse me, I just got out of line. You gave me the wrong order. You got my order wrong. Can you please correct this, please?" You can ask for what you want. Ask for what it is that you want to receive. Ask for what you should have had. Aho. That's what I do. I manifest the things I should have had a lifetime ago. Aho. 4 cycles ago. When I wasn't an elder. When I didn't have the wisdom to know that I could speak up. That I didn't have to be afraid of being slapped by a nun. Reprimanded by a priest. Arrested by a police officer. Punished by my parents. What is it? What was it? Aho mitakiasi. Oishino wa naho. Aishino wa natonata. Aho. 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 And I'm going to ask you, if you don't know how to clear energies and you don't know what I'm talking about, and you know what this is, because I use it on my show. This is sage. It's got a little tag on it that says Walking Crow, Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. If you don't know how to get started, reach out to me at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com and order some sage from me. And we can ship it to you. You pay for the shipping, you pay for the sage, and we ship it to you. And you can use it. I can teach you how to use it and how to start clearing the energies in your life, in your body, in your space, in your surroundings, in your home, The bundles, these are pretty big bundles, and I hand make these myself. These all have the shape of my hand. They don't have a shape of a toilet paper roll. They have the shape of my hand. And I say that because there's stores that sell sage that are shoved into toilet paper rolls to make them tight and dry and round. I don't believe in that. It's a sacred medicine, and you don't respect it in that way. You use your hand, and you offer it with your hand, right hand, They're $15 a bundle. If you 1 to 3 sticks, shipping in the United States is about $3. So that's what shipping was. So if you can buy 3 of them, and it'll last you into the fall probably, because I don't know how much sage you would need to use, and you can buy those for $15 a piece, and shipping's $3. And also, I sell little bags of sage for $5. Some people like to use loose leaf. They don't like to use a stick, but I also have the bags of loose leaf sage that you can get from me, and those are $5 a whole. My friend Sarah is asking me to pull the cards for her. So let me shuffle those, because she doesn't want Anthony's energy in those, because Anthony's energy is already in and around that house. And not that there's anything wrong with Anthony's energy. It just said, they're two different souls. And that's the way that goes. That's it, and that's all. So Sarah's going to be in comments. So, one last shuffle for Sarah, who's listening. Tap the cards 3 times. Sarah, playfulness, dolphin. Take time to play. Raising that child is hard work, and raising a husband is hard work as well. And I'm not being disrespectful in saying raising a husband. You're not, your husband has been raised, and he's his own person. But there's a wisdom that comes from being in a marriage and being in a relationship that along with the hurts, the wounds that you guys share, and the tears. Share the laughter, share fun. I'm sure you guys have a lot of fun with that little boy, playing with him on the floor, getting down on the floor with him and having fun. And your husband's probably one of those guys like me. I don't have kids, but when I'm playing with other kids, I toss them up in the air, which I'm not supposed to do. So Sarah, be playful in your time, in what you do. I know you're a homemaker, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a housewife, and those are honorable things to be and do. You give birth. It's hard work giving birth to a child, and it's even sometimes harder work giving birth to a life. But while you're doing that, have fun, be playful. All right. So second card, Sarah. Decisiveness. This is antelope. Make the appropriate decision for the appropriate action in your life. Just, stand in it. Stand in your fire, stand in your fuego. I just saw you with your arms crossed over your third chakra. Stomp your foot. Stomp your foot and let them know that you mean business. Because your house. You're the queen of your house. You're the queen of your home, just like Anthony's the king. Be that queen. Be his queen. Be the queen of that little boy. But be decisive. Be assured and make a decision as to what it is you want and how you want it, because you got to live in it, honey. All right? So, 2 more cards. Purification, clearing out clutter, frog. frog. Uh, we I think we talked about, push those things in your life that that aren't necessary in your life. And I think there are a lot of the same things that are going on with Anthony, because they come in, they get in the way of your household. They get in the way of your queendom. If you're queenieism, I'll say it, call it queenieism. They get in the way of that. They get in the way of him being king of his castle as well. And you guys rule your realm of where you live. It's your energies are in that space with that little boy, and that's all you need. Anything else is distraction. And I always say, stay out of Chicken Little. People like to bring Chicken Little into your life, and it'll turn into chicken, what. I'm not going to say that word because I'm trying not to use those 4-letter words, because I'm really good at using them, and I don't need to be using them unless I have to. All right. So, and the last one, I appreciate the beauty in you and all around you, Swan. Grace. I spoke on grace last week, and Sarah, you have an elegant look about you. You're a tall woman. At least that's how I see you. I see you as tall, and you pull your hair back, and you have this grace about you, like a ballerina. And you're long and you're lean, and you carry yourself in a regal way. And that's how I saw you when I first, was it 2 weeks ago when you first logged on to the show? That's how because I can see you, and that's how I see you, and be in your grace and beauty, be in the grace of knowing that you're the best mom that you can be in the grace of knowing that you live in your queendom with your king, and nobody, and you can say gracefully, because I said, you'll cross your arms and stomp your foot, step out, this is my castle, this is my home, this is my moat, you don't have any business here, this is where I live. And grace is an interesting thing, because I believe that everybody has grace, and it doesn't always look the same to everybody, Sarah. There are those who like to judge what grace looks like, right? And they do it from a place in the back, the fourth chakra in the back, from the will center, pushing energy, pushing their will on you. And they will tell you what grace is, and they do that in church, by the way. And I don't know if you're religious folks, but I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I was raised Catholic, guilty by association. And not that there's anything wrong with Catholicism, it just didn't work for me. So, when people push their will on you, there's no grace in that. That lacks grace. But when they allow you to be who you are and to stand in the beauty and the light and the shimmering and what you are as the queen that you are, that is pure grace. And there's a saying behind that: live and let live, Sarah. You and Anthony live and let live, and your life is going to be precious and beautiful, like it is now with that little boy. I hope. Well, you know what? I normally don't pull 5, but I'm going to pull 5. Resourcefulness. Raccoon. It's funny. I have this thing about if there's 3 things in the house and I'm hungry, there's going to be a meal made. And I get moms are like that. Their moms are resourceful. They're resourceful with savings. They're resourceful with setting something aside for later. They're resourceful with their love, because they have to. They have to be resourceful in the way they love others, because sometimes others aren't lovable. And moms have to love people regardless of what they do around them. And that happened in my family. There was some family stuff that happened in this family years ago around protecting my nieces, my sisters and cousins. And, and regardless of what happens in the family, you have to love people regardless of what they do. And you don't want to. But I believe that women are pure at being resourceful in how to love despite what's in front of them. Your child isn't always going to behave the way you want them to, and you already know that. And your husband isn't gonna answer you the way you want him to, or he'll be into something else because yeah, because we're like that as men. Sometimes we're doing something, but you have to be resourceful in getting his attention and holding his attention and being resourceful in loving him at the same time. I hope. All right. Sarah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to read your cards. And Anthony, thank you for giving me the opportunity to read you. And I have to, the show is at the end. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and you have been watching the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine with myself, Walking Crow. I want to thank Sarah and Anthony for calling in. I want to thank all those who called in, and you can find the show at Goldilocks Productions on YouTube in the next couple of days, and you can watch it, or you can watch it at Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. Have a beautiful day, and thank you very much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Aho mitakiasi. Aho.